Hey guys, my name is Nick and welcome to my channel. Sonic the Hedgehog is the first feature film adaptation based on the popular video game franchise. In this movie, Sonic is a blue alien hedgehog who is sent to Earth after his powers of super speed are discovered by some bad guys. And as a blue alien hedgehog does, he's got a bag of magic rings that can help him travel through worlds. They pretty much open portals and he can travel anywhere. So Sonic is hiding out on Earth and he's essentially stalking a local police officer named Tom, played by James Marsden, because he's lonely and he has no friends. But don't worry, it's not weird at all because this is a children's film, so it's fine. One day Sonic runs really fast and it ends up creating this power surge that makes the entire government go, what the fuck? And Dr. Robotnik is brought in to track Sonic and bring him in for experimentation. But Sonic ends up losing his magic ring, so Tom, the police officer, ends up helping him out and they become besties along the way. You know, trying to break down this actual plot is a lot more complicated than the actual film itself. Like, trying to explain it is a whole bunch of gobbledygook, but the movie breaks down quite easily. Sonic is an alien, Sonic comes to Earth, Sonic is too fast, Robotnik tries to get Sonic, Sonic and Tom go on a road trip. Boom, Sonic the movie. Now this is a kids movie, so I'm trying to be positive here because I think this will work really well for kids. I would take my niece to see it. She would love it. And that's great, a whole new generation is introduced to Sonic. I'm sure they'll sell plenty of new games and plush toys, but just because this movie isn't as bad as it could have been doesn't mean that what we got is all that great. Most people are familiar with this film because of the drama that it went through last year. After its first trailer was released, people were outraged with the look of Sonic, and so Paramount Pictures completely delayed the film to redo the look, and Sonic looks more Sonic-y, and overall I would say that the visual effects look fine, but ultimately I don't think they're 100%. Like, Sonic looks good, but the way he moves about, sometimes it's just a little off to me. The big disappointment here is that it looks like it's supposed to be a fun little action film for kids, but I don't think this movie has very much action in it. There are like two different parts that you could call action sequences, and they don't really come until the end of the movie. They're not that exciting, and they don't really show Sonic using his powers in a really fun and interesting way. Speaking of bringing things from the 90s back, it is so good to see Jim Carrey as Dr. Robotnik. I pretty much went to this movie for him alone. I grew up on Jim Carrey comedy. He is like probably my ultimate comedian. I love him, and I think that he was perfectly cast as Dr. Robotnik. That was so good. Even though the humor in this film is not directed towards me, it's very much for kids. It was so good to see Jim Carrey go full Jim Carrey, and even though the humor wasn't for me, I could still appreciate his performance. And I'd say the comedy overall throughout the film, sure, it's for kids, but the way that it's timed and executed, it will totally work for kids. These are all jokes that kids will laugh at, and I think they'd have a fun time watching the movie. I also have to give credit to Ben Schwartz, who did the voice of Sonic. I was like, who is that? I can't believe he is Sonic. That was so good. I thought he was good, and James Marsden did a really good job of acting against nothing for pretty much an entire movie. Sonic just doesn't have a whole lot to offer for me. While I like the idea of a Sonic movie, and I get that they would take this formulaic plot of a road trip comedy and then jam Sonic into it and be like, boom, we did it, Sonic the movie. But as I was watching it, I was kind of just wishing that I was seeing Sonic run through grassy areas, collecting rings, going through loops, and bashing into Dr. Robotnik's hovercraft until it explodes. While there are a lot of video games that we might want to see as films, sometimes they're just better off as video games. I'm gonna give Sonic the Hedgehog a 2 out of 5. It means well and it tries to have fun, but at the end of the day it didn't do a whole lot to entertain me, to be perfectly honest. I also have to note that I think this movie has a bit of a messaging problem. It pretty much seems to say, hey kids, don't reach too high, just settle for what's in front of you. And I didn't really appreciate that a whole lot. I was like, that's maybe not the best message to have in a kids movie? What did you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching this video. I greatly appreciate it. Make sure you like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to watch this now, and I'll see you in my next video.